Well, hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. A mostly gaming related video today. Hooray! So, after Trump got elected back in 2016, I had the idea that maybe it would be funny to run a Cyberpunk 2020 campaign in the year 2020 and, match the details of the setting to, the real world lore that we all live in. Actually have Trump be the president in Cyberpunk. Change some of the corporations, so like Amazon and SpaceX, or Sony and Disney, Monsanto, all of that, British Petroleum. Have them in place of the fictional companies like Militech and Arasaka. And otherwise, leave the game itself, unchanged. It's still cyberpunk. It's still that kind of grimy world. Still have the same, character archetypes. You still have cybernetics and flying cars and all the other cyberpunk stuff. I think it would just be interesting commentary and contrast with real-world events at the time. Which is why I still prefer Cyberpunk 2020 over Cyberpunk Red. Leaving it set in our own decade that we're in now provides an additional level of context. Unfortunately, I never was able to get a hold of a copy of the original Cyberpunk 2020 rules by the time 2020 rolled around. And also, other events going on in 2020 made, running role-playing games offline not quite so easy. However, in the intervening years, I have gotten a hold of Cyberpunk 2020 again. And now Trump's president again. And Elon Musk and Sony and Disney and Monsanto and, all the usual characters are still with us. And, just as an interesting side note, in the source book for Cyberpunk 2020 about deep space, it is set in the year 2025. So my proposal is this: I'm not offering to run an online game, but for people who like Cyberpunk and have access to it, DriveThruRPG does have print copies available of the main rulebook for Cyberpunk 2020 2nd edition and a good chunk of its source books. So you can get them printed if you don't want a PDF. For various reasons, I'm a little annoyed that I'm here plugging R. Talsorian's books, but no point in getting into it now. The point is, it's an opportunity for a lot of game masters out there to have a non-D&D game to propose to your player group that offers some meta-contextual satire that they might enjoy in this day and age. You'd be able to take all your favorite real-world cyberpunk characters and cast them into whatever sort of villainous 1984 type of role you want them to be in. And then, struggle for the little guy to overcome the corporate nightmare of our cyberpunk future. So just a thought, I'm going to be toying around with working up some sort of adventure. Perhaps maybe make some videos on that whole process. I don't know. I was thinking maybe, if we're going to be having direct stand-ins for various companies, specifically from Cyberpunk, I feel like Arasaka should be Sony. Militech would be like Lockheed Martin or something like that. Or maybe Boeing. And since it's 2025, and as kind of a nod to Cyberpunk 2077, the video game, maybe have the most recent event in the timeline, as the game begins, is Johnny Silverhand destroying the Sony Tower in Night City, which would make Night City kind of like a no-go zone during the campaign because it had just got nuked, and so it's all irradiated, not really safe for player characters unless you want to do some higher level, kind of shit there, but not a place for starting characters. And so that lets you, play with turning whatever city you're in into its cyberpunk equivalent in the year 2025 and play with those stereotypes and map them onto your own world. Kind of almost do a World of Darkness thing, but with cyberpunk. But anyway, I guess that's about the extent of that idea for now. So leave comments below about your thoughts about it. Maybe we can hash out some sort of consensus as to what the whole thing should look like. And until next time, stay waspinated.